Hello and welcome to Shorts That Are Not Pants Virtual Film Festival 2020. Today we're here with Simon Madore, the director of Peete, and I want to say thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful film. I found it quite charming, and I guess we can talk a little bit about how it came to exist. I understand you're a documentary producer, I think, or also a filmmaker.
I'm more of a director, but I produce as well. But yes, my main line of work is documentary series.
Mhm.
But I've been trying to go back into narrative for some time.
Great. And is this the first narrative film that you've made?
It's the first short independent film that I made. I've made some comedy sketches in the past, but a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful and very unique. And I
Thank
guess I
you.
would ask you how did the story come to you? Is it something that you've been working on for a long time? What are the
Yes.
inspirations behind it?
It is a story that I've been that's been on my mind for years. It was before this form. It was more of a longer form, much more complicated storyline. I had this character, this weird character that people are going to see in the movie. I had that character in my mind for years. I tried to write a script that was much too long, much too complicated. I applied for grants, didn't get them, and then I said, "Okay, I'm going to try this one final time. I'm going to try to, get to the essence of that story." And so I decided to break the script down to the minimal time I could. I said I want a movie that would last 10 minutes and make it as simple as possible. And I tried one last time, and I got the funding to make it.
That's great. Was it always going to be a wordless kind of no dialogue film? Was that the intention?
Uh, in my mind, yes, for a couple reasons. I find dialogues. Well, first of all, I'm French speaking. My first language is French, and I live in Ontario, which is mainly English. And I wanted the film to be understood by anyone, really, and like anyone that could watch the movie, you could understand it. So, and also, this came from something I heard from a famous director who said that your first venture into narrative should be you should be able to tell your story without dialogue and people to understand it. And that
Mhm.
always kind of fascinated me. And I said, yeah. And it kind of it forced me to be get my story straight and try to be as much precise as I could in the way that I want to tell that story and direct it. So it was kind of the plan from the start.
Yeah, I think it makes it a universal kind of character that people all over the world can identify with.
Yeah.
I would say his Pete's appearance is very unique, and I wonder how you came up with the idea, like what kind of process you went through to make him look the way you wanted him to.
Um, yeah, it comes back to the years where I was doing comedy sketches, and I played this character. I'm not an actor, but it was for a TV show where all the producers played in those sketches, and I had to play this character with a big wig.
Oh yeah.
And for a reason, it kind of was born out of that experience. And the more I wrote about the story, the more I kind of defined the way that I wanted him to look. And it took probably 2 years to kind of finalize his look, and probably a year and a half to just to get the wig the way I wanted it. And the wig master that worked on the movie said, I was always telling her, no, bigger, bigger. And even now, I find that I would want it even more, big than it is right now.
Yeah.
But for technical reasons, at some point, it gets really complicated. But I'm still really happy about how she made it look.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, and she had to do two of them, obviously, for the two
Yes,
characters. Can you
exactly.
talk about the casting? Did you know that who you wanted for the role, or did it come as a
Yes.
process?
Well, yeah. So the main Pete the actor who plays Pete is a friend of mine who's also works as a producer in TV. So he's not an actor, and I really like his facial attributes. I really liked this part of his face, and I knew that I wanted something that would, be original just for this part, because I knew that the hair would come down on his face. So, and he's really tall and skinny, and so it was exactly what I. So in my mind, I always thought of him for that part, but at some point, I kind of tried to cast someone else, and then I came back to him because I was like, okay, this is the guy.
He's the guy.
So,
Yeah. He
and for
reminds
the
me.
kid,
Yeah, I was just going to say he reminds me a little bit of somebody like a Joey Ramone or something like that.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Joey
Yeah.
Ramone was one of the influences for the character.
That's great. Yeah. And
Yeah.
what about the child actor? That's must have been a tough one.
Yes. Well, so I had to cast that role. So I met, I would say, maybe a dozen kids, and I wanted someone, because there was no dialogue involved. I wanted someone that had those features that kind of resembled a little bit Pete,
Mhm.
and also I wanted a kid that was kind of, I didn't want to be very gender specific.
Yeah.
So I found this actor, this guy, um, this teenager, and by talking to him, I kind of felt that he was a good match because he was really, without really talking, he had that energy that I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wonderful. I also like that you don't know the gender of the child. It's kind of just it's not important really,
Exactly, it's not important.
Yeah.
And I've got people that think it's a girl, and then people think
Yeah.
it's a boy, and then for me, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. The music is excellent. I don't know if it's just one artist or one song, but I think that adds so much to the film. Can you talk a little bit about the music and how you found it, what it means to you?
Yeah, this is an old, like an 80s French rock band called OTH. Um, and that song I also had in mind for a long time, but I was like, I will never be able to pay for the rights to that song.
Yeah.
And by chance, I met someone that was visiting one of my friends in Toronto, who's from France. And we were talking about the region that he's from, and I knew that band was from that region. So I told him about my movie and the music that I want to use, and he was kind of flabbergasted. And he said, "I know those guys, and I work sometimes for the record label. So let me introduce you." And so I wrote an email, not expecting a lot. I sent like a first cut of the movie, and one of the band members, who I guess is taking care of the rights, said, "Sure, use it. We like it."
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
So
it's perfect. It would have been awful to have to change it and find something else. So
exactly.
a great story.
Yes.
What's next for you? I guess is this you're hoping this is going to open some new doors or give you some inspiration for your next project?
Oh yes, the goal for me, like I still work on documentaries, but the goal for me is to make another one. I'd say the same kind of length and same kind of universe, but for me it's always a long process. I can't just tomorrow make a movie. I have to think about it, right, like a lot of people, I guess. But so I'm working on something, and hopefully maybe in the next year or two I'll be able to produce it.
Oh, that's great. Well, we look forward to what's next. For now, thank you for sharing Pete with us. And
Oh, well, my pleasure. Thank you for
yeah.
having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thanks.